Yeah, just you and Miami Horror, obviously two of the biggest DJs in Australia. Was there any kind of healthy competition between you guys before you met?
Not really, like, because Ben's from Melbourne and I'm from Sydney, and so it's a tale of two cities really. But I met Ben probably about a year ago, and he's probably more known for his productions rather than his DJing, and I'm kind of the reverse, probably known just pretty much for DJing.
Do you think you might ever collaborate on production?
Oh, I'm hoping so, but you know what, he is the hardest guy to work with. He's like so cynical, he just hate it. He's kind of like the Melbourne Kid Moyes from Presets. He just hates everything, yeah, it's just like, so I'd be really worried to take anything to him. In fact, Matt, he's got a couple more hours here before he goes home, and Matt was like, maybe you want to jump in the studio with Miami. I went, no. Shit. He doesn't mince his words. That's probably why they call him Miami Horror. Yeah, that's why he's a horror, yeah.
Was there a lot of competition to get Game Boy Game Girl over the line?
Yeah, there was. We were quite surprised because we wanted to do a record label, and suddenly Game Boy Game Girl wanted to get an EP out. And they're probably like the best act as a first kind of release, because they already had their awesome video, which is all over YouTube, and it's had some stupid amount of hits. Tranta, who's the other kind of overweight guy that takes off all his clothes, I mean, he can't get a better frontman than that.
That's it.
So,
and they had quite a following, obviously, because...
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see over the next 6 months. I mean, personally, with like Game Boy Game Girl, I think I'd like to see like some more, like, say, singing choruses, so like more rapping in the verses and more singing in the chorus. I've got the balls to say it now while I've got people on the side. So hopefully over the next 12 months maybe that will develop, because, you know, there is that danger that people think that they're just like a one trick pony. So yeah, but hopefully they'll develop. But good to have them on board for sure. Yeah.
Where did the idea to start the label come from, considering, you know, so many nowadays of consumer?
Yeah, you know what, it's probably the dumbest thing to do, to start a record label in a climate. Well, you know, I had done stuff with Bang Gang, and I kind of helped with Bang Gang 12s, but then Bang Gang 12s, which was now it's kind of half owned by Modular, it all gets rather confusing. And I've known Matt for a while because I've just done other things with Matt, and then I think Matt originally, how did it actually start? I think, did you come?
I think we were starting talking about CDs and then talking about, you know, whether you like this track and whether you wanted to help with A&R. And
oh, that's right, yeah. So then we just, then
the dream was born.
Then the 2 cents, my 2 cents became 10 cents, and then it became 50, and then it became 75, and then I just was like, couldn't get me away from the thing. So now I'm ringing up saying, no, do this, I'll do that. No, it's cool. It's actually really difficult trying to get off the ground. Particularly with like international, you know, distribution and those kinds of things, because the whole record and CDs, you're not really selling any of that kind of stuff anymore. That format rather. It's all just downloads, and we really noticed that even with Game Girl. Game Girl, the first release went like #1 on Beatport. That was like #1, #3 in the electronica charts. But we wouldn't expect to sell a lot of CDs. We'd expect to sell like a shitload of downloads. And hopefully ringtones. Have we got ringtones? Yeah, ringtones. Yeah.
Last time I interviewed you was January 2007, and at that time you were talking about an EP that you were going to release.
Oh God. Yeah. Was it that how long ago?
Yeah. You said it was coming out in March, so that's like a bit over a year.
Well, I've been through how many producers I've had got Kim Moyes in, that didn't work. I had Angus, and I got Angus from Sneaker, got him drunk, and I also at the same time had he from the Midnight Jungle, Andy, and I had them both in my room, right, and I couldn't get him. I don't know what it is, but I just keep losing them. And I have been working now with another guy, and I just have a bit of bad news because I lost him this morning. He's sick of producing other people's stuff, and now he wants to go on his own. So I lost another producer, so I'm like this guy that just loses a producer. I got like this trail of wreckage behind me. Anyway, basically, Matt and I were talking this morning, I got 2 weeks to do it, otherwise the whole project is basically over. And the thing that has also delayed it is the Killer Queens, who are on a sister label. They're like a hip hop act. I'm trying to use them on the EP. So rather than just being a dance thing now, it's like got vocals and it's quite rather songy. But it is, so it should be out in a month and a half. Yeah. So it's kind of like Pump Up the Jam. It's like an edgy Pump Up the Jam. It's got hip house with like vocals, and it's really colourful and bouncy and sweaty and all that kind of stuff.
Sosueme caught you last night at the Oxford Art Factory with the badass duo, the Killer Queens. Where'd you find them?
Well, it was just by chance that when I was working on my EP, I was going, I need some vocals, and one of the guys, one of our sister record companies, Blazing, which is like a hip hop label, they said, sorry? Grind, sorry. Grind, what's Blazing? That's a hip hop magazine. I don't know a lot about hip hop to show. And they just sent over acapellas, and straight away I just went, this is amazing. I'm surprised it's untapped, because they just do, all that stuff is really big in kind of grime and, you know, Bali funk and Baltimore and all that kind of stuff. And they're just untapped, and they're like really good. I've never really worked with them before. Last night was just an accident. I just played a couple of their tunes. But they translate so good on record, that's why the whole thing's been delayed. But I just met them just by chance. I had an acapella of their CDs, and I was like, man, I want to, you know, meet them and do this kind of stuff. So hopefully in 6 months, get them actually up on stage, dancing, singing around to the tracks, and have a bit of a show.
Do you think you'd add more elements to it than just the three of you?
Well, it's also going to be this
AJAX
producer
Live.
guy. This producer, he was going to help out, and now that he's left, so now I'm kind of stuck. But I don't want to lose them, so I'm not really telling too many people about them, you know what I mean? It's a pretty conniving industry, like, you know, there's like sharks, you know what I mean? And someone goes, oh, they're really great vocal, and they go behind your back, and then suddenly they're working with them. So yeah, I'm trying to be a little bit careful. But I've got 2 more weeks. I've got 2 more weeks, and if I don't get anything out, then they're gone, basically.
It's quite a deadline.
Yeah, the pressure's on.
Yeah, I'm from in the mix, so
Yeah,
I'm going to ask you the question. It's the number one for the last 2 years. It's coming up again. What do you think? What's the? Are you happy to hand the crown over? Or?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I only wanted to. I know this sounds really ungrateful, and it's funny in the mix as well, because I actually had not a falling out, but I didn't want to do it because I'd won it once, and I don't want to seem ungrateful. But it's just, I don't like the kind of adage where you become like the number one DJ rather than kind of what you play. And to be honest, like I'm an anxious guy anyway, I'm kind of nervy, and it makes me nervy when people go, oh, he's number one, they expect number one. Like I don't enter like scratch competitions like craze. I'm not actually that competitive when it comes down to it. So, in answer to your question, I'd actually like to withdraw. I know that in the next one, let me withdraw. So I really don't know, to be honest. Yeah, but that's why it's not that I'm ungrateful. I've won it once before. That would have been great, and I could just go back and. But yeah, so we'll see what happens this year.
We will.
In terms of topping the pole repeatedly, though, you've got like so many up and coming DJs who just try and emulate your style.
Yeah.
How do you face the challenge with everyone?
Yeah,
sort of
that's
playing the
what
AJAX
sucks.
style?
This is going to be the big difference. Is that 3 years ago or 2 years ago when I first won, like there was no one that was playing that style. Electro House was kind of just breaking. There was a real shift. But now there's like all these young guys like Ember and Wax Motif and like the other Bang Yang guys, and they're crazy. And like I'm not being a wanker, but I can actually hear my style, but actually more mature, and it's like cleaner. It's more of a cleaner style. I know that half these guys could wipe the floor with me, so I probably expect a change this year. But it's good to see. But the problem is I used to be unique, and I just don't know if I'm as unique now. You know what I mean? And also with the whole thing, like records, no one plays records anymore. I worked in record shop, you always get the new music. Whereas now everyone just gets so democratic, everyone just gets all the same music. You know, some guy from Gunner Guy gets exactly the same music from me. He goes to the same blogs, he buys the same stuff online. So it's not as elitist anymore. So yeah, we'll see.
Speaking of which, how do you both feel about the new laws coming in with making DJs buy licenses to play downloaded tunes?
Oh, I've been away, I just got back from overseas. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it sounds like one of the craziest things I've ever heard. It's near. I don't know if you can buy a blanket
DJ
license. You can.
Yeah.
That's
I read
amazing.
something about a blanket license, but apparently you actually have to buy, or you have to get permission for every tune.
Otherwise, the club
How do you do
gets.
that?
It's a license.
It's impossible.
for nothing, actually.
Man, this is well, because I knew about the other license with the one where clubs have to pay $1 or for every whatever that law was that came into 12 months ago. But that hasn't really affected me. I still get only a few app performs for the festivals, and that's about it. I haven't really seen the effect of it. I'm sure the people who are putting on those big parties are feeling the effect in the clubs and stuff. I like to think that the small bar rule that's happening in Sydney, that's probably one of the more exciting things, because you can have these small bars. Then you can have like these little pockets of new music sprouting up, rather than you know, just every club playing electro house and no like music in bars. I'm hopefully thinking that you're going to get what happened in the